Well, we now have new developments in the standoff between Russia and Georgia. Secretary of State Condoleezza Rice has arrived in Georgia to try and work out a ceasefire, while Russia controls about 1/3 of that nation currently. CBS News reporter Phil Ittner is in the capital city of Tbilisi this morning. Phil, good morning to you.
Good morning, Chris. The conflict here in Georgia is now well into its 9th day, and while a ceasefire does seem to be barely holding, some Russian troops have moved their positions and are now blockading two key Georgian cities, Gori and Poti. Meanwhile, international efforts to solidify that peace are intensifying as Western powers try to stop this region from falling into an even worse conflict. Secretary Rice arrived in Tbilisi this morning with a European-sponsored peace deal that she hopes Georgian President Saakashvili will sign. She met yesterday with French leader Nicolas Sarkozy to work out the details. The six-point plan would call for Russian troops to pull out of both of Georgia's breakaway republics, South Ossetia and Abkhazia, leaving behind only the peacekeepers, which were there before the current conflict started. While the Russians have signed on, there are questions as to whether Georgian President Mikhail Saakashvili will sign it, and even if he does, whether that will satisfy the Kremlin, which now sees Saakashvili as a war criminal. Meanwhile, the situation on the ground here is dangerous for all involved, including the press. Yesterday, Turkish television released footage of one of their news crews coming under intense fire in South Ossetia, despite clearly identifying themselves as journalists. Now, all four of those Turkish journalists did survive the incident, and after being held by Russian authorities for a short period of time, were eventually released. The Kremlin is also very suspicious of the U.S. role in this conflict, and in addition to that, the new missile defense deal that was just signed with Poland has the Kremlin disturbed as well. A Russian general said this morning that that deal cannot go unpunished. Russia has said previously that it would aim missiles at any location where U.S. missiles are located. Chris?
All right, CBS's Phil Ittner for us in Tbilisi, Georgia. Thank you so much, Phil. Those pictures, incredible, of those Turkish journalists. Lucky to be alive.